Mega Altaria is a very unique Mega Evolution that we don't commonly see. Has access to a really fantastic yet interesting dual typing of Fairy and Dragon, has access to a fantastic ability in Cloud9 before it Mega Evolves, and gets access to Pixelate, which means its normal type moves are boosted and transform into a Fairy type attack. However, its stat distribution is not that amazing because of the fact that it just doesn't have one that super stands out, but an overall really nice rounded stat pool. So we'll see how well Mega Altaria can do, and I'm going to be trying out one that is really meant to do a lot of damage and be an offensive sweeper, making it one of the strongest physical Fairy type Pokemon in the game. This is my Mega Altaria Sand team. Let's break it down. So first Pokemon up is going to be the Mega Altaria that has access to Cloud9 prior to Mega Evolution, which is able to negate the effects of all weather currently on the field, as well as it does get access to Pixelate when it does Mega Evolve, which means that it transforms its normal type moves into Fairy type moves, as well as boosting the power of those attacks. Altaria also gets access to a Fairy typing over its Flying typing and retains the Dragon typing. So it's a really interesting dual typing that it has access to. And it has access to one of the strongest physical Fairy same type attack bonuses in the game with Double Edge, where normally you have to use like Play Rough on Mega Mall, which is a little bit inaccurate and a bit weak for a really strong physical Fairy type move. So we are going to be trying out a really offensive physical Altaria today and see how well it can perform. We're going to be using it as one of the classic sweepers, just utilizing that double edge option because we are just going to be trying to brute force teams with the power of double edge. We have access to Dragon Dance to increase the attack and speed on Altaria, and then Roost because we don't really need that much coverage. I think with Altaria, Earthquake is fine, but otherwise its physical attacks aren't that great. You don't really need access to the Dragon move in my opinion when you're using a Fairy type attack. So Double Edge is just pretty strong, and having that recovery can be really nice because Altaria will be taking quite a bit of recoil with the Double Edge, and it has really good defenses, so it can actually stick around on the field. We have this EV spread here that is able to outspeed, for instance, the base 120s like the Mega Frostlass and the Sneasler after a Dragon Dance. It's able to utilize its attacking power and then has a good amount of HP where it's still able to be -1 of a number divisible by 16, which matters for Sand Recoil, which we do have access to on the team. Even though we have Cloud9, it will affect it when Altaria does decide to Mega Evolve. We'll see how powerful Mega Altaria can be. It doesn't have the best physical attack stat for a Mega Evolution, but with the combination of Pixelate as well as Dragon Dance and Coaching Boost, that Double Edge can really rack up damage. So next Pokemon up is going to be the Life Orb Excadrill with the Sand Rush ability, which is able to double the speed while the sand is up with the coverage of High Horsepower, Iron Head, Rock Slide, and Protect. When building Mega Altaria, I was trying to cover a lot of its weaknesses where it's Ice, Steel, Poison, and Fairy when it does Mega Evolve. And when you think about it, Excadrill hits all of those types super effectively with its same type attack bonus options. High Horsepower and Iron Head are fantastic against all of those coverage options. And Rock Slide is also pretty nice to be able to hit the fire types like the Charizard Y that the Altaria doesn't appreciate hitting, or at least this variant doesn't. So I thought it could be cool. Altaria is also really neat synergy wise with Excadrill because it can switch into attacks that Excadrill doesn't like when it doesn't Mega Evolve. For instance, the fighting coverage, the water coverage, and ground, of course, before Mega Evolution. I think it's pretty cool what this duo can do. So I am running High Horsepower over Earthquake, which is the only big change of Excadrill. We sometimes see Earthquake usually as the main staple, but of course Altaria doesn't stay a flying type when it does Mega Evolve, and sometimes you want to go for like a combination of High Horsepower plus Double Edge. So that's the idea behind having High Horsepower here. It's also able to play around Wide Guard and a few other options. So this Excadrill is going to be used as an effective sweeper because even though Cloud9 can be weird with Sand Rush at times, there are quite a few cases where you are going to Mega Evolve the Altaria, sand is still going to be up, and then you'll still have access to the Sand Rush, which can be really effective in being able to dish out some pretty fast, heavy damage. EV spread, pretty simple, just max attack, max speed. With inanimate nature, you want Excadrill to be able to hit as hard as possible, and it is going to be a really cool support option, I think, for Altaria. So next Pokemon we have is going to be a second Mega Evolution choice of Mega Tyranitar with the Sandstream ability, which is able to summon the sand to give the Tyranitar 1.5 special defense boost thanks to its rock typing, and has the coverage of Rock Slide, Knock Off, Low Kick, Protect. You want a way to be able to set up the sand with the Excadrill, which is pretty important for that sand rush. And it's also pretty nice having a Mon that can fully deal with Charizard, especially with that Rock Slide option, because of the fact that when you do Mega Evolve Altaria, then the Charizard actually will be able to do a lot of damage. So having that access to the sand stream is going to be pretty nice to slow down the Charizards, and having a Mon that can actually threaten it is pretty important. The low kick option is going to be here because it does help out against King Gambit, and that is the main thing that this Tyranitar is made to help with. I could have went with another Dragon Dance Tyranitar, but I felt like the coverage to be able to help out against the King Gambit, which is a bit annoying for this team, is very much appreciated. The EV spread on this Tyranitar is pretty simple. It's able to outspeed, max speed, Adamant, King Gambits, the ones that have Focus Sash prior to Mega Evolution, has a good amount of bulk, especially when it's able to Mega Evolve with Tyranitar. If you go for a secondary Mega, super strong, and then a good amount of attack to get the extra stat point in its attack stat. It's able to take attacks, outspeed things to break Sash again on like King Gambit and all those Pokemon underneath it, and then able to hit pretty hard with its attack stat. Next Pokemon we have is going to be the Focus Sash Poison Touch Sneasler. And of course, Poison Touch does have a chance when Sneasler does go for a contact move to poison the opponent. And you might be thinking Focus Sash on a sand team is a bit strange, but I felt like in a lot of cases, coaching Sneasler with Fake Out support generally does want the Focus Sash, and I don't think it's too anti-synergy with this team, even though there is sand with the Tyranitar. It's not like a main mode you really go for. If you're going with Sneasler, you're probably just trying to set up either Excadrill immediately, like leading Sneasler plus Excadrill, or Sneasler plus Altaria, and with the Cloud9 on Altaria, you can often get away with having that Focus Sash on Sneasler, because then the sand won't actually chip the Sneasler and break its own Focus Sash. So in a lot of cases, it's not too bad to have the Focus Sash on the Sneasler, I find. With Close Combat as the really strong physical fighting type attack, Poison Jab, which of course with Poison Touch has a really high chance to be able to poison the opponent, Fake Out of course to help set up the team, and then Coaching, which is able to increase the attack and defense of a lot of our physical attackers on this team. Really great, especially for the Altaria as well as the Excadrill. EV spread wise, we are just going with max speed and max attack. I am going with an Adamant nature over Jolly nature. This might be a little bit greedy, but I did want the most power that Sneasler can go for, because I like going for really straight close combats plus poison jabs. Being able to knock out some of the non-bulky Floettes I think is pretty nice, and that is the idea behind this Sneasler. So next Pokemon we have is going to be the Citrus Berry Sinistcha with the Hospitality, which is able to recover its allies' HP when this Sinistcha decides to switch in with Matcha Gotcha, Shadow Ball, Rage Powder, and Protect. So I just really like the idea of having Hospitality on the team. It kind of similar to like a lot of the Protect the King teams with the Sneasler, the Sinistcha, as well as the Altaria. I really felt that the idea of supporting the Altaria, make sure it has a lot of HP, especially when you're going for Double Edge, which has a lot of recoil. I think the Hospitality really just adds a lot of value to the team. Matcha Gotcha and Shadow Ball are really strong coverage options, and sure, I could have ran maybe like Life Dew or Trick Room instead, but I kind of like the idea of Shadow Ball just for the extra coverage into Pokemon that I might not be able to hit with the Altaria as hard. Think of some random fire types out there. Sometimes you need that extra bit of chip damage with the Shadow Ball, and it can be pretty nice to have. So that's going to be the idea of Shadow Ball, and you can actually threaten Golden Go this way, which is also a Pokemon that can be very nice because maybe they think they can set up safely against Sinistcha, then they take a lot of damage with the Shadow Ball. The redirection is really nice. I never felt like I needed Trick Room on this team because it's not really a Trick Room oriented mode, and I never really struggled with playing against Trick Room, so I don't think I need to reverse Trick Room. Life Dew didn't feel like it was absolutely necessary, so I felt Shadow Ball was a pretty safe option to have here. Spread wise, this is just a really bulky Sinistcha. It's able to survive stuff like the Kowtow Cleave from King Gambit and able to take attacks extremely well. All the Sinistcha really needs to do is switch in and out for the Hospitality and redirect the attacks. Final Pokemon on this team is going to be the Leftovers Milotic with the competitive ability, which is able to increase the Milotic special attack stat by 2 stages when it does get a stat drop from the opponent with Scald, Icy Wind, Recover, and Protect. I really like the idea of Milotic on this team because it's really threatening, especially with the competitive ability, because if they want to slow down my Excadrill or the Altaria or Sneasler thanks to the Intimidate, yeah, this competitive can really punish it. So that's the idea of having the Milotic on this team. You have access to Icy Wind Speed control, which can be nice to help Altaria set up safer or get the knockout, being a faster KO. You have Scald, which is able to get some pretty good chip damage. Recover, which is allowing the Milotic to just really stick around. And then Protect to keep itself around, which is really nice. Not needing the Coil Hypnosis set, I think just having Protect is a very reliable move on this team. E-spread wise, this Milotic able to have the Calm Nature to boost its special defense stat because it's the highest stat that Milotic does have access to. The speed allows it to outspeed the Garchomps and the Eternal Floettes after an Icy Wind speed drop, and then the rest is going to go into HP and physical defense because you really want to be able to take these attacks extremely well, especially with no Intimidate on the team. So this is what the Milotic is able to help out, scare away the Intimidate leads or punish them, because it really makes setting up Altaria or allow Excadrill to really run rampant is the idea here. So how to use the team? Well, this team was mainly designed to set up Altaria with access to both Dragon Dance and Coaching, which are able to boost the stats of Altaria, which allows it to be able to either A, just outspeed and sweep the opponent, especially after some Dragon Dances, or just be able to sit there, take attacks with that Coaching boost, and to boost up the attack style on the Altaria as well. So really, Altaria is going to be able to do a ton of damage afterward with that double edge. You do have to keep it quite healthy though, so you need to be able to position it well to be able to sweep teams, which is why Sinistcha with Hospitality to keep the Altaria around as well as the redirection is pretty solid. And then Milotic does have access to the Icy Wind support that it does have access to, so it ensures that Altaria is able to outspeed things, especially because it's not the fastest Pokemon even after a +1, for example. Then you also have ways that you are just able to brute force the opponent's teams. You do have that access to that Life Orb Excadrill, which is able to do a ton of damage, especially under the sand. And you have a lot of ways to be able to disrupt opponent's weather, thanks to both Mega Tyranitar option and of course the Cloud9 on the Altaria, which can be really useful against weather wars. Excadrill is just able to do a ton of damage in general against a ton of Pokemon in the format, so it's able to really hit hard with that high horsepower and that Iron Head, especially after Coaching boost from Sneasler, which is definitely a potential option as well. And there are of course multiple ways that you can set up, for instance, a Coaching boost on Sneasler, just being able to lead the Sneasler, go for Fake Out, Dragon Dance, go for Coaching with Altaria plus Excadrill. You could switch in one of Altaria to Excadrill into like not very effective moves on the other, and you could go for the Coaching boost with the Sneasler, very effective. You can also go for Coaching into Tyranitar. You can Mega Tyranitar if you want. You can also go for Coaching with the Milotic, which is pretty solid because a +1 defense Milotic, really hard for our opponents to get rid of, and then that Icy Wind and Scald is just able to chip away your opponent, put them into positions where, hey, Excadrill or Altaria could really come in and dish out a ton of damage. So that's the idea of the team. Most of the common leads though, I'd say you probably are leading the Sneasler plus Altaria is a really effective one. Tyranitar Excadrill is really solid. Sneasler plus Excadrill is also pretty good, and even Milotic with Sneasler is also a very solid option too. So those are probably the main ones you do really want to go for, but otherwise sometimes you can go with like Altaria plus Excadrill, which can be a pretty offensive double edge plus Iron Head plus high horsepower against like some of the slower teams. And Milotic's just a good lead with either Altaria plus Excadrill, because being able to absorb a potential Intimidate from Incineroar or any other Pokemon and then have a boost in Milotic can really just give the opponent a lot of trouble. If you'd like to check out the details of the team, they'll be in the description down below, but let us see what we can do with Mega Altaria. This team is designed to really be able to utilize Mega Altaria as well as just shut down any of the Charizards, because we have access to Cloud9 as well as Tyranitar, so their weather is just not going to be effective, which means that Milotic can beat down the Charizard. You have a few other Pokemon like of course Tyranitar, which is just really good into it. Altaria, it does no damage into, so let us see how well this team is able to perform. All right, we have Sableye, Garchomp, Venusaur, Espafra, Archaludon, Pelipper. Interesting rain team. Mega Evolution going to be Venusaur here on this team. Sableye, not the greatest mon to handle, but I do have tools to beat it, I suppose. Okay. I'm thinking we're going to go with Altaria plus Sin. It depends on what the Sableye moveset is. I think that's what's really going to be driving me questioning my ability here, because I'm curious if the Sableye is Will-O-Wisp. Because if it's Will-O-Wisp, I want to lead Altaria plus Sinistcha. If it's not, I could lead Altaria plus Sneasler. I think Altaria plus Sneasler is not too bad. I think it's probably pretty okay. I think I bring Sinistcha, and I think I bring Tyranitar, because Tyranitar is actually kind of nice here into my opponent's team, just because it could break Sash on the Espafra, and I think breaking a sash on the Spafford could actually be massive for me. So let's see what my opponent does decide to go with here. Because I don't think I need Milo against Venusaur. But let's see. Sableye is Spafford, okay? That makes sense. As we lead Altaria plus Sneasler. I could double edge immediately to Sableye. I'm thinking of poison jabbing the Espafra plus double edge immediately. I don't really need the Cloud9 in this matchup, so I think I go for the double edge KO into Sableye immediately. I could go for coaching. I could go for poison jab. I think I like... Espafra could protect because I could fake out the Espafra, right? So I think I'm going to go for coaching attempt into the Altaria. Let's see. I'm curious. There's a lot of lines that could happen here. I'm hoping this isn't Lumina Crash or Calm Mind turn 1. It could be, but I don't think it's likely, but we'll find out. Yeah, Spafford protects because I think it could be Sash and doesn't want to take the fake out plus attack. It's a Wisp, but it's into the Sneasler, which is actually good for me because I think Altaria is better offense here. So I am able to get a coaching off with my Sneasler, which is massive, and this means I have +1 Altaria. Goodbye, it's not Roselli, it's not Sash, goodbye Sableye. Massive KO on the Sableye turn 1. Okay, I like that a lot. We do take a lot of recoil, but it's acceptable. Also, I assume I'm faster than the Venusaur because my Altaria is actually really fast, design-wise. So let's see who they bring out next. My only problem is, okay, Pelipper coming in is interesting. I'm gonna go for, I think I double-edged a Spafford. I swapped to Tyranitar here. Because I get the Sand up, which means if it's Sash a Spafford, double-edge... I think double-edge should KO a Spafford if it's not Sash, and if it is Sash, then the Sand will probably pick it up. That's my logic here. So I feel pretty comfortable about this, but it could still be a bit ugly. I wonder if they brought Venusaur or not, because I feel like it should be Venusaur, but we'll see. It is Baton Pass. I mean, whatever's coming in is taking a bunch of damage. Like, the +1 double edge will do a decent amount here. Also, I'll keep Altaria healthy. Yeah, it is our Archalon. That's fine, I think. Because I get a big double edge off. Oh, that's good damage. That's very good damage. Weather Ball? Tailwind. Okay, we're in great shape here. Because right now, Tyranitar is really hard for them to deal with. Because I have access to knockoff to KO the Archalon at this point. Leftovers. Okay. I think my best line, if I'm not mistaken, is just to go out in a Sneasler. So I have fake out pressure into... Yeah, I think keeping Altaria around is actually good. I think I go for a knockoff into the... Trying to think. If I KO Archalon, I win the game. It's +1 defense. I think knockoff should KO from Tyranitar though. Archalon's only a +1 speed. You know what? I'm gonna Dragon Dance and I'm gonna knock off. If Arch protects, I get a Dragon Dance up. Oh wait, they Tailwind with Pelipper. This was dumb. Surf. You have Surf? Okay. Oh, that did nothing. That did nothing, actually. Okay. That did way, way less than I thought. That was a crit on Tyranitar, too. And I get a Dragon Dance up. I forgot they Tailwinded the prior turn. I thought they Weather Balled. This is kind of okay, because Altaria can win the game now. Very easily, actually. Because what I can do is I can just protect the Altaria. I can go out into Sinistra. Get a bit of recovery on the Altaria. And then I can Rage Powder and stall out this Tailwind and then double edge the Archalon in the late game, which is nice. Because like the thing is the Pelipper's just not doing anything while the Sand is up. So right now all I need is Altaria to actually like clutch up and get the KOs here. Also keeping Tyranitar healthy so I beat the Espafra guaranteed in the late game. So I like the idea of going Sinistra, get the Hospitality, get the Rage Powder redirection the next turn, because I don't think they're Hurricaning the Tyranitar slot. I think that's crazy. I mean, even if they do that, I can go Sneasler the next turn, so I think it's like fine, yeah, even if they do that. Because I can like fake out Roost. So we bring out Sinistra, get the Hospitality. They went for a double protect, interesting. Did they go for Surf again? As Altaria protects. But yeah, that Dragon Dance was definitely not good. I thought I would outspeed our Chaldon with +1 speed, but I kind of forgot about the Tailwind. But I mean, this is still fine. I guess the question is, am I going to Roost here? I think I Roost. Yeah, I think I Roost. So I have Recovery, so I beat the Pelipper. Because the thing is, I think Rage Powder is very obvious here. And then I think they go for Hurricane, Blind Hurricane, and Sinistra, which I think is fine. I think that's their win con. If they sell out their own Tailwind, then what I can do is I can get our Sneasler in, and I can threaten close combat into Double Edge, which is what I'm going to aim for. So I'm going to Roost and Rage Powder. Even if they don't KO the Sinistra this turn, I mean, then I still have Redirection, so I think it's fine. Yeah, they protect, so I get a good Roost off here. So I get to heal, and then Double Edge close combat, looking really good here. I'm pretty sure close combat will get the Arch at this range, if I'm not mistaken. So we get a Roost. Look at that Recovery. They go for the Hurricane. They hit it, which is fine. I could also go out into... Actually... Is my play to go for close combat, or is it to just fake out Double Edge? I think it's just fake out Double Edge. Yeah, it's fake out Double Edge. Because I think close combat should get the R. Well, 34. I don't think I risk it, actually, because I'm still burned and they're +1. But I do win by clicking fake out, I think, in a Pelipper, Double Edge. And even if they get a double protective Arch, they need like a triple. And even then, it's like kind of still very awkward for them. All right, we have Garchomp, Venusaur, Incineroar, Charizard, Sylveon, and Annihilate. So usually they run Scarf on the Garchomps, and I want to say it's usually Life for Venusaur. So Altaria really, really nice here with Cloud9. Cloud9 Altaria goes crazy. I do have to watch out because the Annihilates do run Ice Punch on this team. So something I'm going to have to keep a note of. Am I going with Milo in this matchup? I don't think so. I bring Tyranitar, right? I need to get rid of that Annihilate as quickly as possible. That Annihilate's a bit of a problem. I think I might have to Mega Evolve Altaria early on, which kind of stinks. But at the same time, it's probably okay. I'm going to lead Altaria plus Sneasler because it is pretty good offensively against my opponent's team. And I bring the Sinistra. Redirection's nice because of the Annihilate, but otherwise it's not really necessary. But I think I still bring it anyway. I think Tyranitar is the last Pokemon just so I can change the weather, because changing the weather is actually really important against Chlorophyll Venu. The problem is I don't have the best ways of hitting Venusaur for a lot of damage, so I'm going to have to keep that in mind. So that's something I really could be fearing here, is that Venusaur. We're going to see Garchomp Annihilate. Okay. Where's the Sneasler Altaria? I wonder if I could just Mega Evolve Dragon Dance. I think I could. Because if they Dragon Claw, it's fine. Yeah, I'm just going to Dragon Dance and I'm going to go for Coaching. Because they're usually Scarf Garchomp, and if it's Scarf Garchomp, that makes it a lot easier for me, I'd say. Yeah, I'm going to go for Coaching into my Altaria and just Dragon Dance. +2 Altaria will go crazy against the Venu, I'm pretty sure. If I just get a bit of chip damage into that Venu, and if I get +3, I kind of just blow up everything besides maybe the Charizard. Maybe I don't KO Venu without a bit more chip. Let's see what they do here, though. I will go for the Mega with Altaria, so they go for Dragon Claw. Not great for them, and also Ice Punch is not like too scary. Perfect. Perfect. So we get a Coaching off, +1 defense. Very, very nice. Also, it is Scarf Garchomp confirmed. It outsped my Sneasler. They go for Rock Tomb, which is fine. Because, sure, we're at neutral speed. But guess what? We're going for another Dragon Dance. So, even though the Rock Tomb, yeah, they're not really doing much here. So, they probably don't have Ice Punch, which is good for me. I think I just spam Dragon Dance, and I think I just go for another Coaching. Or do I Poison Jab the Garchomp reading the switch? I think I just go for another coaching again and just another Dragon Dance. I think that's fine. They could Rock Tomb switch to Venu, but I think that's okay because they don't have access to Chlorophyll. Here's on what the last Pokemon are. If it's Sylveon, the speed on Sylveon is going to be important. Like, is it faster than my Altaria? Okay, they just stay into Dragon Claw again, which is fine. I don't mind that. So I get a coaching off with Altaria. Now we're a +3 attack, +2 defense. Phantom Force. I do not think Phantom Force is the play here. But this works out. Another Dragon Dance. I get to go for Dragon Dance again. Why wouldn't I go for Dragon Dance again? I think I just hard swap to Tyranitar and just Dragon Dance. Because I get to break a Sash on the Annihilape. It eats the Dragon Claw. I don't need Tyranitar healthy. I just need it around. I'll definitely live Phantom Force plus Dragon Claw very easily. And then I could switch to Sinistra for the recovery. It's looking good, man. The fact that they're staying in with this Garchomp is just making my life a lot easier. So Tyranitar comes in. We get another Dragon Dance off, so we're actually +2 speed, which is important. Dragon Claw and a Tyranitar. That was a lot of damage, actually. Well, I guess that's Adamant Dragon Claw, so I guess that makes sense. Here comes the Dragon Dance. Phantom Force. Look at how little that did, man. That did so little. And now let's look at the Altaria stats. Well, that's the wrong menu. It's looking pretty good, I'd say. It's looking pretty good. Unfortunately, the Venu... It's going to come down to the Venu set, but I should be good here. I go for Double Edge into the Annihilape. I'm going to switch out to Sinistra. Get the recovery. They're not switching out the Garchomp. They just refuse to switch out the Garchomp. And if they switch out the Garchomp, I'm just turning the other slot. Do I KO Venu is a good question, because I would love to KO Venusaur. Double Edge into Annihilape takes a knockout because I don't want to get affected by Rock Tomb. Critical hit, that definitely doesn't matter. So goodbye Annihilape. We do take a bunch of recoil, but the Garchomp can't do much. Dragon Claw into Sinistra, that's fine. Do I want to sacrifice Sneasler? I guess the question is what their next Pokemon is here. If it's Sylveon, it might be worth switching out my... It is Venusaur, okay. I think my best play here is just to protect and swap out into the Sneasler then. Yeah, it is my best play. Because I have access to Fake Out, the only way this gets punished is that they read that. They switch out Garchomp into Charizard to try and get Weather Control, yeah. But even if they do this, I have access to Fake Out the next turn. So I can Fake Out Double Edge, which is really nice. Okay. So I feel pretty good about this spot. So Altaria will protect. Did Venu attempt to protect? No, they Sludge Bombed. I think Double Edge would have KO'd. Okay, now I'm not going to fall for any tricks. That sand damage is important because I think the Venu's now Double Edge range. I'm going to Roost with Altaria and I'm going to go for Fake Out into the Venusaur. Because if this is Double Protect, I think this is like my best line here. Because they might Double Protect here to avoid the Fake Out. So I'm going to go for Roost with Altaria. I wish I had one more Dragon Dance. Oh, they Mega Evolve. I thought they could Mega Evolve, but it's still okay because the Roost basically is a mid-ground because I'll live the Heat Wave easily. And now they lost Weather Control because I can switch in Tyranitar the next turn. Oh, and if they protect Charizard, that works out. Did they actually double protect? Okay, they didn't. So I get a Fake Out off into Venu. Nice. And I get a Roost off. And this Roost allows me to survive the Heat Wave if they went for the Heat Wave while having enough HP to live Double Edge Recoil. Now I can just go for Double Edge into Venu, swap to Tyranitar. It gets questionable if they go for Protect and swap, but I can always sacrifice one slot on the right and protect Altaria to get Weather Control. So I think I'm just in a huge advantage state here. Bring out Tyranitar. Here comes Double Edge. +5. Goodbye, Venusaur. Goodbye, Venusaur. So Venusaur goes down. Is this Heat Wave? Yep. Tyranitar voice, that doesn't matter. Even if they burn Altaria, it doesn't matter at this point. I think Tyranitar just wins. Beautiful. Beautiful. Well, I guess it doesn't win because I'm sacrificing the Altaria, but I mean, it works out. Garchomp comes in. My best play here is to go for a double edge into Garchomp. I outspeed Scarf Garchomp, right? At +2? 254? Yeah, Scarf Garchomp can outspeed that. So I am always able to outspeed. I get a double edge into the Scarf Garchomp. And I think I just spam Rock Slide. Yeah, Garchomp can outspeed the Altaria. And unless this is Sandvale, I'm fine. And they don't run Sandvale into Garchomps. So I should always, like, even if I miss a Rock Slide here, it's fine because I have Sinistcha and Sneasler that's still in a really dominant spot. So Garchomp will go down to the double edge. Like, I think I go down to recoil if I switch in Sinistcha for the Tyranitar slot, so there's not really reason to. Also, Tyranitar just beats the Charizard by itself, so Altaria will go down, but it has done so much work in this game. Like, it's actually insane. They go for Weather Ball. This does, like, no damage. Yeah. And we do land a Rock Slide. I could have went for knockoff so I can go for, like, fake out Poison Jab stuff, which might have been more optimal realistically, but I think this is still okay. Yeah, I think it's still okay. I think I should have went for 2 knockoffs and a Poison Jab, which would have probably KO'd after Sand Chip, but not that big of a deal, I think. I think I had a lot of opportunities to hit Rock Slide. All right, we have Houndoom with the Annihilate, Torkoal, Farigiraf, Venusaur, Kangaskhan. If I'm not mistaken, I think this is one of Ryota's teams that features Mega Houndoom, and I think it's Scarf Annihilate, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. Which is fine. The Venusaur is problematic, but other than Venusaur, they do not have the best answers to Altaria. Yes, so I kind of like Sneasler Altaria. The only problem is my Sneasler, if I'm not mistaken, is Adamant. Yeah, I made it Adamant, so I underspeed the Houndoom, which kind of stinks for me here. But I mean, Altaria is really good here. I love Sneasler. I think that Sinistcha, just having a recovery for Altaria is really good. And of course, Tyranitar, for when I do Mega Evolve, I need a way to change the weather. So Tyranitar is just really good here. So let's go with this. I don't see a reason not to have this play. And we'll see what they decide to go with. Like, they could lead Farigiraf plus Kangaskhan, which is fine because they either give me Kangaskhan or they give me some boosts. So let's see. Farigiraf, Kangaskhan, okay. Against Altaria plus Sneasler. I have a lot of potential plays here. I think my best play is just to protect the... Is it to protect Altaria? Because I don't think they're targeting Altaria with Fake Out. I think they're targeting Sneasler with Fake Out. So they don't lose Kangaskhan. I think my play is to Drain Dance Altaria, switch to Tyranitar. You might be thinking, kind of a crazy play, but I think they're just Fake Out Trick Rooming, and I think they do target down the Sneasler. So we had the Sand, doesn't matter here because Cloud9's up. Was it Mega Kangaskhan? I thought this was Fake Out Last Resort. Oh, I might have mixed up the team. That's really bad, actually. Oh, and I could have close combat. They gave me a close combat opportunity to Kangaskhan. Well, that's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. I misremembered the team, it looks like. Oh, he had like 2 teams with Kangaskhan, and one of them was Mega, one of them was Silk Scarf. I think the Silk Scarf one was like his Abomasnow team, and this one had Mega. Shoot. Is this winnable? Probably not. It might be with Sinistcha, but yeah, this is not looking too hot. I do have a Mega Evolution at the very least. Like, I do have a Mega Tyranitar backup, so it's like not terrible. Like, this is a winnable game for sure. It's just like very tough now. I go for Protect with Tyranitar and Matcha Gotcha because I can get a burn chance. I get some chip damage across the board. So we will go for it. But man, that could have been very different. Psychic is fine. That did a lot. Oh, I need every bit of damage, especially in a Kangaskhan. Pain. I also needed the recovery if they ice punched. Yeah, that's pretty bad. Looks like I live low kick if they have it. Is this min speed Kangaskhan? I don't think it is. I think at this point I kind of have to go for a commitment though. I think I'm going to go for a Machigotch and just Mega Evolve low kick. I think I need the extra power of low kick to KO the Kangaskhan from the Mega Evolution. Unfortunately, my Tyranitar is actually pretty fast, but I'm hoping the Kangaskhan is like a neutral nature because I don't actually know that for a fact, but I think it's like the only hope I have here. Psychic, I should live based on the previous damage. Yeah, barely. I do hit the Machigotcha this time, which is good. I wouldn't have had to Mega Evolve if I hit the last Machigotcha. I get a burn on Ferrograph, that's not really mattering. Kangaskhan was more impactful. Okay. Citrus on the Ferrograph. Okay, I get the low kick off first. Kangaskhan goes down. This is a playable game. Okay, we get rid of Kangaskhan, which is massive because that was probably going for a fighting type move, I think, into my Tyranitar. So I actually have a chance now. Who is coming out? Torkoal is fine because Eruption's not doing too much to my Tyranitar. I have a lot of plays I could go for, actually. So I'm definitely protecting Sinistcha this turn. The question is, what am I doing with Tyranitar? Am I staying in to click Rock Slide, or am I going for a switch here? I think my best play is to Rock Slide, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's Rock Slide, get the damage off, because like Eruption doesn't do too much. They might, I think if they have Helping Hand, they'll go for Helping Hand, which is okay. But let's see. Yeah, they go for Eruption. Tyranitar should eat this fine. Yeah, we take that with ease. Okay, cool. They went for Psychic to cover a switch. They targeted Sinistcha, that makes sense. Nice, we land a Rock Slide, that's massive. If Lastmon's Venu, I feel okay about this. I need to KO for Rigraph if possible, so my best play here, just to Rock Slide and Shadow Ball, I think. I mean, Sinistcha's never getting an attack off realistically here, so I think I cover a switch in case they do switch, right? I think that's like the best play. They go for Eruption again, it's not going to do any damage. To Tyranitar, Sinistcha's going to go down. I get a double knockout here, and then we actually have a playable game, which is crazy. So, Sinistcha goes down. Psychic. I was trying to line up things for the last resort Kangaskhan, but it didn't work out. Luckily, we might have a chance depending on the last Pokemon, because if it's... Well, Houndoom is just useless because it can't Mega Evolve. If it's Venusaur, I feel pretty good about our chances. And then last Pokemon was what? Annihilate. Annihilate's the scary one because I actually have no clue on the Annihilate. But I think if I get some poisons, I'm actually in an okay spot. Okay, it's Annihilate. It is Scarf. Actually, that's good for me if it's Scarf, because if it's Scarf, it has to lock itself into close combat, right? So I get like multiple chances to get a poison. I think I go for Poison to Protect because they are Scarf close combat, right? Yes. I feel like Tyranitar does the most damage to Annihilate, so they're going to target the Tyranitar. Yep. Please poison. Please poison. Please poison. I need a poison. Oh, that did a lot. Did I crit? Okay, I did. Poison. Poison touch plus... Okay. I'm still think I'm fine if I get one poison. If I get one poison, either this turn or next turn. Or I go for the double protect and I get it because I'm the GOAT. But I feel like I'm fine anyway, because as long as I get one poison, I have Sash Sneasler. And yeah, like I think as long as I get one poison, it just racks up too much damage on Annihilate with multiple poison jabs. I finally got the poison, so I do guarantee to win, but I cannot believe I won this after misremembering the Kangaskhan. I thought it was fake out last resort. What I was trying to do was Dragon Dance because I thought they were going to fake out the Sneasler Trick Room, and then I thought they were going to last resort, so I thought like I could get a situation where I could protect Altaria, have Tyranitar in, could like knock off the Silk Scarf on the Kangaskhan, then follow up with Low Kick afterward. That did not work out as well as I would have hoped. Alright, we have Dual Weather, which Altaria theoretically is good against. It's just a Venusaur that's always going to be a pain. But we have Swampert, Grimmsnarl, Venusaur, Pelipper, Charizard, and Archaon. This is not an easy matchup, even though like Altaria theoretically, Cloud9 is amazing because I will have to attack eventually, which is a big part. So we're definitely bringing Altaria. I think I'm going to go with the Sneasler. I guess the question is, do I want to bring Excadrill in this matchup? I feel like Sinister's just better. Redirection is just nice for the ice coverage. And then I think I need Tyranitar as the weather control. Yeah, so this is actually very different. This is very different from what I imagined. But I guess we haven't really faced too many fairy types that are important with Excadrill. Because I was thinking I want to bring Excadrill more, but we have not faced any really important fairy types, I think. Grimmsnarl or Chaladon is fine. I don't think they're ever Dragon Pulsing the Altaria. I think I just go for a Dragon Dance turn 1. And I go for a Fake Out into the Grimmsnarl. This is a mind game between Flash Cannon Fake and Dragon Pulse into Altaria. I also don't even think it KOs Altaria because Altaria has okay bulk. They Dragon Pulsed. I do take it pretty well though. Okay. So now I can go for Protect plus Coaching into the Altaria. I could also Poison Jab the Grim as well. I could also go for Double Edge Close Combat because it probably does knock out the Archaladon. But I like the idea of coaching the Altaria Protect first. Because then I think I could Roost up. And I think that's actually pretty nice. They go for Reflect, that's to be expected. Get a coaching off. They Flash Cannon this time. I wonder if they would let me get a Roost off here in regular form, because I think they're always Flash Cannoning, and if they do that, that actually helps because I'll be able to be neutral to it. So I might want to go for Poison Jab into the Grimmsnarl and Roost. They can Electric Shot, they Parting Shot, that makes sense. So I'm back to +1, but I think this is still pretty good. Poison Jab into the Grim slot's nice onto whatever comes in because I get a chance to poison it, unless it's Venu, but damage into Venu's not bad. Swampert comes in, which is actually good. I think this has to be Flash Cannon into Altaria, right? The Roost is going to come out, heal the Altaria. I probably live Dragon Pulse actually too, which is nice. Poison Jab into the Swampert. No poison, unfortunately. Yeah, they Flash Cannon, perfect. That did a lot more than I expected, actually, but we're okay. We are okay for now. I think my best play is to just protect, maybe draw off a close combat into the Archaladon. Yeah, it's close combat, draw off a close combat Archaladon. Because I don't know if they protect here. I really don't know if they protect the Archaladon here. But a close combat will do a lot of damage to Arch, even to Reflect. And then if they don't KO the Sneasler, I get a free opportunity to close combat again and maybe Roost, which would be really ideal. Okay, they give me the close combat. Did they double the Sneasler or did they focus down the Altaria? Also, next close combat's going to be really close, but I think it should get it even after the stamina boost. The Ice Punch, which is already a promising sign. Okay. That's pretty good for me. That's pretty good for me. Because Altaria is faster than Swampert, so I can Roost before they get a I can just roost close combat. Man, I really want to go for coaching. I really want to go for coaching. Because I feel like Protect Earthquake is just so safe. I'm kind of greedy. I'm going to go for it. I think Protect Arch makes so much sense. Ah, they did not protect. I really thought they were going to protect Arch. Dang it. Because I think if they like protect Earthquake on the Roost and they get rid of the Sneasler, it's huge for them. But that's not the case here. They Ice Punch the Sneasler, which is interesting. Okay. And Dragon Pulse. I mean, I thought they crit. Okay. I still think that this is pretty doable. It's not great, but like this is definitely a doable game, I suppose. The problem is I don't have much recovery on my Altaria. Well, I guess I could Roost, but I have to stall out these turns of screens, which is not easy. I wonder if I can get a Dragon Dance plus Rage Powder off. Do they play aggressive with Ice Punch? I could Matcha Gotcha here, theoretically KO the Swampert. They are playing aggressive, okay. They just don't want to protect. Yeah, I'm just Dragon Dancing with this. They Ice Punch. Does a lot to Sinistra. They're spamming Dragon Pulse. That didn't. I was about to say, I was like, why did that do so much? They crit. That's a bad crit. I might have lived Ice Punch after. Now I don't. This has not been kind. Can I KO Arch? It is +3 double edge. I'm thinking if I KO Arch, I might have a chance. Yeah, because I think I can get a Matcha Gotcha off in the Swampert. If we trade our oh wait, this is good for me. This is really good for me. Okay. Because if Double Edge KOs the Archaludon, it's +3 versus +1 defense and reflect. It's going to be close. If I KO and I keep Altaria around, I can beat the Swampert. So here comes a Double Edge. We KO'd our Archaludon. We should live Recoil. That's really good. That's bad. Okay, but we're still fine. Okay. The only annoying part is I need to KO... Oh, Pelipper came in. What? Wait, that's really good for me. Because I have +1 defense, right? I have +2 defense. So I should take Spirit Breaks very easily. They don't usually run Fake on the Grims. I think what I could do is I can Roost up with Altaria and I can go for a Rage Powder. Did I Rage Powder or did I just swap to Tyranitar? Actually, I think I swapped to Tyranitar. Yeah. They're not Weather Balling the Altaria. And what this does is I get a Roost off and get recovery with Altaria. That makes it useful, and I get to keep Sinistra around for recovery because I do need it for Double Edge. They go for Hurricane, nice, and a Sinistra to cover for Rage Powder. Beautiful. Spirit Break, I do take this because of the +2. Very nice. Okay. I think this is really, really good. Because I think I could just spam Roost here at this point. Or do I go for the Double Edge and the Pelipper reading the... I think I always Roost. They're almost out of Reflect turns. Yeah, this is the last turn to Reflect. I think I just spam Rock Slide. Because I can flinch the Grim potentially because I think Tyranitar's faster. They're going to do the Swampert into Pelipper with Parting Shot, which is fine. Because they don't have Reflect. So I'm pretty sure I still knock out the Swampert and outspeed it +2. So I'm okay with this trade. I'm very okay with this trade. So give me damage into Pelipper too. That damage into Pelipper is huge. And the Roost recovery is massive because with Hospitality, it's going to change so many numbers. And I get free chip damage on a Swampert. Beautiful. I think Double Edge at +2 should get to... +2 is definitely getting the Swampert with ease. Their best place to protect Swampert go into Grimmsnarl for the Pelipper, but I think that's okay. I go for Double Edge and I go for Sinistra. The reason is this covers for the 1, I get the Hospitality. 2, this covers a Hurricane. 3, this also covers if they go for Tailwind with Pelipper and Protect with Swampert because I still maintain Weather Control. Because if they go for Tailwind, then the Swampert's faster than Altaria. I guess I don't have to target the... Maybe I shouldn't have targeted the Swampert because it doesn't do anything to the Altaria that's boosted, but let's see. Okay, they protect. Is this Tailwind? Or are they going for Hurricane? Double Edge. Yeah, exactly. Like, this actually gives me an opportunity window because I can Double Edge switch to Tyranitar and I'm in a really good spot. Because I am +2 speed, so I outspeed Swampert. Unless they're Jolly for some reason. But Double Edge switch to Tyranitar is super safe. And what this also covers for is, this means that 1, Hurricane's less likely to hit. 2 is also the fact if they switch to Grim, like they're going for Hurricane Confusion now, which is okay. I get to keep Hospitality. The Pelipper Hurricane is inaccurate, plus Weather Ball is really just still not doing anything to Altaria regardless, so I think I'm okay here. Double Edge will kill the Grimmsnarl. So Grimmsnarl goes down. And then it comes down to this Pelipper right here. Nice. Oh, they also Hurricane the Sinistra again, which is beautiful. Very good. Very good. I'm kind of surprised they didn't Hurricane the Altaria, but this works out huge in my favor. I outspeed Swampert unless, again, it's Jolly, and they would have to crit me or freeze me. So I always go for the KO on a Swampert, I think, because if I get the KO on a Swampert, I always win with Tyranitar. So we go Sinistra. We also have the Hospitality as well with the Sinistra, so we'll live a Hurricane crit from the Pelipper. It's just going to come down to confusion. They have to land, get the confuse, and self-hit. Swampert also has to protect his turn. If Swampert doesn't protect, they lose the game because I KO with Double Edge, and then Pelipper cannot be Tyranitar. So here's the Hospitality. Yum, 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 yum. Double Edge comes out. Goodbye, Swampert, and that is game. Oh, man. I had to dance so much with the Dragon Dance and Roost against the Grimmsnarl and the Archaludon, but thankfully Altaria came in clutch. Beautiful. Yeah, and Hurricane crit. Like, Hurricane crit when I KO'd if they protect because I didn't take the recall, and I don't mind if Altaria goes down if I get the KO on the Swampert. This Tyranitar should just win the game, so... Mega Altaria putting in work, baby. It's putting in work. Alright, we have Glamora, Staraptor, Hydreigon, Golden Go, Milotic, and the Whimsicott. Now, Altaria does not love this matchup. It does not love this matchup at all. Excadrill is actually pretty decent here, though. But I'm trying to figure out what my best combination is, because that Staraptor is really annoying. This might be a game where I don't set up Staraptor, or don't set up Altaria, and I just go for the KO into Staraptor. Because if I get the KO into Staraptor, Excadrill looks really good into their team. So that might be my plan here. Milo is not bad into their own Milo, but I don't think it's really worth it. I think I go with Altaria, Sneasler, and I think I bring Tyranitar, Excadrill. I gotta KO the Staraptor as quickly as possible. I gotta KO the Staraptor as quickly as possible. I will literally go for either Fake Out plus Double Edge, or I'll go for Coaching Double Edge. Probably Coaching Double Edge. Oh, they let Milo plus Hydreigon, which is good for me. Okay. Did they bring Sneasler? Or not Sneasler, Whimsicott is the question. I'm going for Dragon Dance here, and I'm going to go for a Fake Out into the Milo immediately, because if I get the poison touch on the Milo, it's pretty good. Hydreigion's gonna switch out. Is this Whimsicott? Okay, so it's Whimsicott, probably Staraptor back. So no gold that I have to worry about, which is okay. They shouldn't be too bad, because I should be able to ensure to knock on the Whimsicott. They're probably going to Encore, and if I get rid of Whimsicott, it's pretty good. Oh, they also have Protect on the Milo. I wonder if they fear the... There's like a lot that could go on here because of the Encore mind games. I wonder if they think I have Quick Guard on the Sneasler, because if I had Quick Guard, it'd be so good here. But I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to risk Poison Jab into the Whimsicott and Protect, because I think they want to Encore to Altaria. I think Altaria is scarier than Sneasler, but let's see. Ah, they got me. They got me. Shoot. That's really bad. Lost a mind game here. If I double edge the Whimsicott, the game is very different. Oh, they have Ice Beam. Okay. I lost so much momentum with that. I could still win this game, but it's definitely looking a lot tougher. I don't need Excadrill nearly as much now because they didn't bring gold, it looks like. So I think I'll go Tyranitar and I'll go Excadrill. Maybe I should have swapped in the other slots because Excadrill does not appreciate the water move, which they could go for Sneasler. I definitely should have switched in the other direction. I wonder if they Tailwind reading the switch, because Tailwind reading the switch makes a lot of sense too. Okay, Encore. Oh, they did Ice Beam double up. Okay, that's good. I need to KO into Whimsicott, because I can't let Charm Staraptor run out of control here. So we're going to knock off the Milo and get rid of probably the... Well, we got rid of Leftovers because we already confirmed it. I think I Iron Head here. They don't have a good switch to Iron Head either. I could swap out Excadrill for Sneasler, but I don't think it's worth it. I think I just go for this. Yeah, because they're going to Tailwind. They're going to go for Ice Beam. That's fine. Because I outspeed, I get the Iron Head. Goodbye, Whimsicott. Whimsicott's gone. I'll also get rid of the Leftovers on Milo, so they have limited recovery. One of the Milo has Recover or Haze on this team, because that's actually important info. Scald. Surviving's not great here, actually. Knock off. Okay. I think this is pretty winnable if I can get a position where I can Dragon Dance with Altaria safely. The question is, can I get that position? Because I have to stall out Tailwind too. Alright. I think my best play here is to double Protect if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it's double Protect here. I see my line, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it's to double Protect. The problem is the Staraptor is about to get a +1 defense, which is not great. And then I also have to worry about how much recoil am I taking with my Altaria in the later parts of the game. Let's see. We go for the double Protect here. This should be close combat in Tyranitar and Scald into Excadrill, right? Yep. Okay. Since Sneasler's gonna lose Focus Sash anyway. Actually, does it? Oh no, it doesn't. Okay, no, my best play is to go for... I lose both of these Pokemon. Last turn of Sand. I go Sneasler plus Altaria. I click Fake Out Dragon Dance. Okay, yeah, I see my line here. We're just going to sack both of these Pokemon here. So we're going to go for Rock Slide, and we're going to go for Iron Head into the Staraptor, so I take less recoil with Altaria later in the game. Oh, I did not want them to KO I did not want to KO them this way. I should have went hard into Sneasler then. Hmm. Because I wanted the free switch bow, but they didn't give me that opportunity. I do get free rock slide off into Altaria, which is nice. I don't need the KO. Okay, I need the KO in the Staraptor, and I need it with Altaria. I think I go Altaria. I think I have to risk Sneasler here. Yeah, I have to risk Sneasler here. They're not going to Brave Bird the Sneasler on the bright side. I go Sneasler, and I go for Protect. I think they double up the Altaria with Ice Beam Brave Bird. They get close combat to Tyranitar, but if I Drain Dance, they lose. So I think this is the best line. So bring out the Sneasler. Protect the Altaria. Like, Tyranitar can be used to beat Hydreigon too, which is also good backup. They close combat. Did they close combat Ice Beam? Recover is fine. Okay. Sand subsides. I think this works out pretty well in my favor. I guess the question is, do I want to fake out the Staraptor or do I want to fake out the Milo? Fake out the Milo might be better. I think it's fake out Milo Dragon Dance. Yeah, I'm going to fake out Dragon Dance here. Yeah, because Staraptor could protect and the Milo might try to go for like a cheeky Ice Beam or Scald. So I get this call right, which is really good for me because getting that fake out into Milo is massive. No Poison, which is a bit unfortunate because I think Poison would have auto won the game. But now I'm in such a phenomenal spot. Even if they Brave Bird or close combat, I think it's fine. Because the Altaria outspeeding the Staraptor is huge. Tailwind is over, right? Yeah. And Double Edge KO Staraptor. So I always go for Double Edge here. And I'm going to Poison Jab the Milo. I could also Double Edge the Milo, but I think this is a better angle to approach it with. So here's a Double Edge. Goodbye, Staraptor. So Staraptor goes down. That's a massive gone here. And then Milo's going to click Ice Beam, which will live. Poison Jab, because I don't think close combat KOs anyway, and I might as well fish for the poison. I have not gotten poisons with this Mon, which is insane, but we're still fine. Okay, now we can lose depending on the Hydreigon set. Okay. That's bad. We're going to close combat the Milo, and we're going to go for Double Edge into the Hydreigon. I don't know which slot's protecting. They have to be Scarf Hydreigon for a chance, I'm pretty sure, because I think they need to Scarf Dark Pulse Flinch. Okay, they're not Scarf because Altaria outsped, so this is game. Ooh, okay, it wasn't Scarf Hydreigon. If it was Scarf Hydreigon, then they could Dark Pulse Flinch my Sneasers. I could still be frozen, and then Milo could get an attack off, but thankfully that's not the case. They go for Earth Power. We're good. We're good. Also, I don't know if the Hydreigon actually has a move. Well, I guess Earth Power will KO the Altaria, but I mean, I get a close combat plus a Double Edge. Also, it's Life Orb, yeah, so this game's 100% over. Altaria, it'd be nice if you could just unfall so you could get the final KO, because you actually put in a lot of work. Okay, I think even if they close combat or Brave Bird with the Staraptor, I was willing to trade potentially for the Altaria because I think Sneasler could have won that endgame with Tyranitar. So I was okay with that, but that just ended up working out the best case that I faked out the Milo. All right, we see the Hisuian Arcanine, Sylveon, King Gambit, the Staraptor with Raichu and Farigiraf. So this is a pretty common team. Excadrill Sand normally is pretty good into this, but there is the Staraptor, but we do have Altaria, so we have a lot of ways we can maneuver this. I'm kind of curious if they have to bring Staraptor, right? Because I think Raichu, I don't know, it's really weird. They don't have a way to set up Staraptor. This is kind of a weird game because I think Excadrill is insane into them in general. Because the coverage it has is fantastic, right? But it might not be necessary. Do I need Sinistcha in this game? I don't. Man, there's so many ways I could probably play this one out. I think I kind of like the idea of Milotic Sneasler because it's really good offensively against their team for the most part. I think Milotic Sneasler is pretty good, and if I give a coaching boost to Milo and they bring Staraptor, it's cooked for them. I think I bring Excadrill just in case of the Raichu, and then I bring Altaria as the last Pokemon. Because Altaria is also pretty good. Double Edge is pretty strong against my opponent's entire team. So we'll see. It's obviously one of the weaker mons. I could have left it behind, but you know, we're showcasing Altaria, and I could see Altaria actually putting work with Double Edge in the late game scenario. I could also see myself sweeping and getting coaching scenarios off. So it is Staraptor Farigiraf, so I don't think there's Raichu, which is really good for me, as I do lead Milotic Sneasler. Cool. They could have dual wing beat on the Staraptor, but I think you kind of need a close combat or you're getting screwed by the Milotic. That's my guess here. I think I'm gonna go for Protect Coaching turn 1. I don't know, sometimes they run dual wing beat, sometimes they run Brave Bird. I feel like they should go for close combats because I feel like you or Protect, because I think you have to respect the Milo. Boosted Milo without knowing it's set, I think is really scary for them. But let's see if I'm right. Nice, okay. So I'm able to get a coaching boost, which is pretty important. So Milo will be able to eat the Staraptor attacks very easily. Okay, that's really good. And a Trick Room, so very awkward spot for them actually. Because now I can go for Scald and Poison Jab. I could also go out an Excadrill, but I'm not risking that in close combat. I could go Altaria too. Altaria's not a bad play. A lot of options. I think I'm going to go for the Staraptor though. If I could get to double up in the Staraptor with Scald, Poison Jab, it's good. And even if they protect Staraptor, it's not like terrible because Farigiraf's only getting a bit of damage. They switch out the Staraptor into Sylveon. Oh, the Sylveon's gone. That's nice. That's nice for my Altaria. My Altaria is going to go crazy afterward. So they go for Psychic, but we have that Focus Sash. And now we're going to KO the Sylveon. And now I think we're going to get a great position with my Altaria. Unless it's Gambit Bag, but if it's Gambit Bag, that's fine still. So here comes a Poison Jab. Goodbye, Sylveon. And how are they stopping this Milotic right now? How are they stopping this Milotic? Goodbye, Sylveon. Who are they bringing out next? Gambit. Okay, it is Gambit. Which is fine. I have no reason to really protect here. I just got to be a little bit cautious of the end game with Staraptor, but right now Scald is looking pretty free, and I think I go for Coaching in case the Gambit protects and the Farigiraf just goes for damage to Milo, so I think it's better to go for Coaching. Swords Dance. Okay, that's fine. Psychic, okay, that makes sense. They kind of had to make this play. They were in a lot of trouble otherwise. Sneasler goes down. Scald, if we get the burn, it's just like really cooked for them. Okay, no burn, so it makes it a game. We do have Excadrill. We are going to go Excadrill, I think. I could go Altaria, which is also pretty reasonable here. If it's Swords Dance, that means it should be Kowtow Sucker, right? I could go for Altaria, Mega Evolve, Dragon Dance, Scald. I don't think that's terrible. I think I'm going to go for that, actually. I just got to be very careful if I lose Altaria, because if I lose Altaria, I do have... I mean, Staraptor's still, like, reasonably... I'm able to beat it reasonably, but it's not ideal. So we're going to Mega Evolve Dragon Dance. They also still have to respect the Milo, like, very heavily here. Like, unless they don't have Protect. I could Protect a Scout. I don't think Thunderbolt into +2 Kowtow knocks out in the Milo, though. I was just wondering if I should risk them having Iron Head, or do I just risk them doubling into Milo here? Helping Hand is fine. They can't KO Milo or Altaria. So we Protect. Kowtow, okay. We should live. I underestimated Gambit a lot. I was +1 def- Oh, it's Life Orb. Yeah, that's not good. I was like, oh, I live black glasses easily. Life orb? I thought I would live that too. Because I'm like, I guess my Milo has less defense than my normal Milotic sets because I did sacrifice some. I'm very curious on that calc. But how am I winning this? I have to read where the King Gambit's going. I feel like it's probably they're doubling up the Altaria. I think I need a Dragon Dance. They go for Kowtow. Is this Kowtow Psychic double up? If I live Psychic, but I just don't think I live Psychic at this range. Maybe I have to go for a double protect. I was hoping, but it did a bit more than I was hoping for. Psychic. If I live this, I do have a shot. Ah. What is that calc on the Gambits? I was sure that I was living. Milotic versus the... What's this Pokemon that we're dealing with? King Gambit. Life Orb. For +1 defense. And then they have Helping Hand. It's a roll. Oh wait, no it's not because that's bold in the calc. Ah, I did not know that calc. Oh no, it's not a roll because I even have less defense than this, right? Because I have 25. No, that's a guarantee KO. I'm actually shocked. But I guess that's like a very big difference. I know I live black glasses very easily. But I do not live... Oh, I don't even live black glasses actually. But I also wasn't expecting Helping Hand. I didn't know if they ran Helping Hand on this team. We cannot win this endgame, unfortunately. Oh, that means I toss. I should have went for just a double edge plus the Skull then. Because if I KO'd the Gambit that turn, it works out. But I didn't think I didn't think Milo could ever go down there. I felt like Thunderbolt plus Kowtow was not getting it at that range. It unfortunately did because Gambit with Life Orb is a beast. Alright, we have Excadrill, Tyranitar, Corviknight, Rotom Wash, the Scovillain, and Chandelure. Sand Mirror. It depends on if the Scovillain actually has an attack that can threaten. Like, Milo's really, really good here. Milo Sneasler is really strong. Also, my own Tyranitar is actually, like, really powerful against them. Did I bring my own Excadrill? I feel like Excadrill is like a trap. It doesn't feel like it's that great. I could also see myself just going with Sinistcha because I feel like I could commit to Milo just winning the game, or I could commit to Altaria winning the game. I think it's probably okay. I'm going to go with Sneasler plus the Milotic. Bring Altaria, Sinistcha back. I think it could work here. I think it can work here. It's also better for me if I bring this combo into the Corv, but I don't think Corviknight can really wall me, assuming I keep the Milo around. The Milotic is like the star piece for my matchup here, because it's able to do really well into Sand plus the Corviknight. Okay, Scovillain plus the Corviknight is fine. As long as this isn't Leaf Storm and they don't really run Leaf Storm Scovillain. So I think I'm just going to go for a Scald into the Corviknight, and I'm going to go for a Fake Out into Corviknight as well. Okay, they Mega Evolve the Scovillain. Do I want to go for Coaching the next turn, I guess is a good question, because I could go for Coaching to get the defense boost. But if they Leech Seed, I might be inclined to switch out to Milo, so it might be better just to go for attacks. Okay, we get Scald off into the Corviknight. Actually does some decent damage. We get the burn immediately. No burn? They have Giga Drain, okay. So they probably don't have Leech Seed, which is fine. Oh, I actually have a fun play I could make this upcoming turn. Because if the Scovillain... I know Scovillain lives the Icy Wind and the Poison Jab. I'm going to go for Icy Wind and Poison Jab. I could get the Poison Jab off into Scovillain, and then I can get an Icy Wind, use the Mirror Armor from Corviknight to activate competitive. So we get the Poison Jab off into Scovillain. It doesn't KO, but the Icy Wind will. We get the Poison. So it would have worked if I protected Milo, but this is still fine. Icy Spray. I don't mind getting burned either. It's not like too bad. Icy Wind comes out. We KO the Skull Villain, so Skull Villain goes down. The Corviknight mirror armors my Milotic, but I get the competitive boost off that, which is really huge. They get a burn. Fine. And Skull Villain goes down. So Skull Villain is gone, which means my Altaria has a bit more free reign. They Brave Bird too, which is actually kind of nice. Yeah, because they take recoil. Do I want to go into Altaria or do I want to go out into Sinistra? I think I go Sinistra. Yeah, I think I go Sinistra because Rotom could be coming in. And also just gain recovery is just pretty good here. So I'm going to go Sinistra. Who are you bringing out? I wonder if they even brought Tyranitar and Excadrill. Maybe they brought Excadrill. I don't know if they brought Tyranitar against me. They did bring in Excadrill. Okay, that's nice. I think I just go for Scald into Corviknight, and I think I just protect the Sinistra here. Yeah, I don't think there's a downside. They protect Excadrill, which actually works out really well. Did they Tailwind? Did they Roost? Or did they just try to Brave Bird Sinistra? Like, all of them work for me really well here. Nice. I was covering for like Roost from the Corviknight, so this ends up working out really well. I do get rid of the Corviknight. So Corviknight gone. We have a +2 Milo versus the last two. Really good shape, but it's not over, especially if they have Rock Slide available. I want Icy Wind here for sure. Oh, it is Rotom back. Okay. I don't know how they beat Sinistra then. They could Iron Head flinch, I suppose. I'm gonna go for Icy Wind, and I'm gonna go for Machagacha. Yeah. They go for Thunderbolt, their Scarf? Or they're very fast. This could be Earthquake, which is fine as well. Swords Dance. Oh, I might need to land the Icy. Okay, we get the Machagacha off. That's huge. We need to land the Icy into Excadrill. Burn on Rotom doesn't matter. Or we could burn the Excadrill too. That also works. I went for this play because as long as I got an Icy Wind off an Excadrill, that means I should always outspeed with Milo. So now I win the game guaranteed, I'm pretty sure, because I'm just faster than them. I guess like if it's Scarf Rotom, I'm not faster than the Scarf Rotom, but Altaria is also faster than them and can double edge, like KO both. So I go for Scald into the Excadrill, I go for Rage Powder, and then Altaria wins the game. So nice. The burn also meant that I couldn't get parried by the Rotom, which is actually important for speed interaction. I didn't think it was Sword Stance Excadrill, but it worked out. Yeah, it's Scarf Rotom because it outspeeds my Milo at -1 speed. Oh, wait. Oh, I'm dumb, actually. Oh, they went for Iron Head. I just realized I was -1 speed with my Milo, so they could have Earthquaked. But even if they Earthquaked, it's fine because I still have Altaria, as I said before. Like, I think Altaria just wins. Because I could just spam Rage Powder plus Dragon Dance, and I think I'm good. Because Altaria would be able to double edge. I guess they could come down like Thunderbolt Paras, because as you saw, I did take a lot of damage from Sinistra, but I wouldn't have taken all that damage if they went for Earthquake to KO the Milo. Because if Excadrill KO'd my Milotic, Sinistra was still at reasonable health at 50, and then like I could still spam Rage Powder and Dragon Dance, and as long as I don't Mega Evolve to be vulnerable to Earthquake, I'm still good. So how was Mega Altaria? Actually, it was pretty solid. It doesn't have the best offensive immediately. It does need some boost, but overall, like, it does have some pretty good bulk, especially when Mega Evolving, and it has some really interesting mind games prior because, of course, the Cloud9 is something you want to be able to keep, but of course, there are some Pokemon that, for instance, Dragon coverage want to hit the Altaria, but if they hit into a Mega Evolve, it's a wasted turn, which means that it could be a free stat boost. Yeah, there's like quite a few mind games when you use Altaria, and I think it could be really cool just be able to utilize that and enable, again, like a setup option on Altaria so it can actually be a massive threat afterward. I think is a really cool option. I think the Excadrill mode didn't work out as well with Altaria because sometimes you did want Altaria, Sneasler, Sinistra, and it's kind of hard to fit, of course, Excadrill solo without the Tyranitar, but I do think it could have worked in some games, and of course there were potential options to drop one of Sinistra or Sneasler, especially if we encountered like an Eternal Flowout. We just didn't encounter one, unfortunately. But I do think the team was really fun. I think Altaria was able to put in a lot of work, especially with the coaching on the Sneasler. It was really more impressive than I thought it was going to be. So if you would like to try out the team, the replica code is on your screen. If you want to try out the team and need to check out the details, they'll be in the description down below. And of course, subscribe to the channel for more VGC content as always.